Hi fish fans, it's Raina and Sean and River. We are +1. This is why you haven't seen or heard from us in over a month, because we were busy working on our side project. So we want to tell you all about our experience bringing Mr. River into the world. But before we get started, I want to just remind you to please hit that like and subscribe button, leave us a comment. You can hit the bell if you want to get notified via email of our videos. We're hoping to have regular videos out again. It's a little tricky. We're still doing the mom and dad learning curve, figuring out how to handle things with River, but we're starting to get caught up. Yeah. You can also check us out on patreon.com/Raina Mermaid. We're on hold for the month of September. You can still sign up and access all the content, and then in October it'll start charging again. And as of recording this video, it's been about 4.5 weeks since we've had our baby boy. Yeah. The last video you saw from us was this beautiful compilation that Shawnee made of me pregnant, and we still had about a month, almost a month to go. So by the time we made that video, we were about 3 weeks from our due date. However, I woke up in the middle of the night one night feeling extremely unwell, and I woke Sean up and asked him to take me to the hospital. And when we got there, we found out that I had real extreme hypertension, which is high blood pressure, which is very dangerous when you're pregnant. And they decided to keep me in. And one day turned into 2 days. Turned into 3 days.
Kept going and going and going.
So what happened is I actually went pre-eclamptic, which is a very dangerous situation that can happen when your blood pressure rises. And they decided that instead of waiting the 3 or 4 weeks before River's due date, that we needed to move up his C-section by 2 weeks. And by that point I had been in the hospital for quite a few days by myself with Sean at home running back and forth. They had me on a lot of meds, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Hi, you're in your first video. He's sleeping. And then we had the C-section scheduled, and that was a little scary. So Shawnee was able to come in with me. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you observed?
Yeah, it was wild.
You had to wear scrubs?
Yep, full scrubs. Not allowed to touch a thing. Not allowed to go near a thing. A good 7 people in the room, all organized, and we had the place to ourselves at the time, so we were very lucky.
Everybody was a woman except for Sean and the anesthesiologist. I got something called a spinal block, where they give you a very tiny needle in your back to give you freezing, and that's the most pain you get the whole time, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I'm glad. I have no idea how much pain was involved. All I remember is it's happening. So.
It's more the fear of not knowing what's going on to you that it makes you really scared. The pain itself was not bad at all. So I got this little shot with numbing, and then once it was numb, the anesthesiologist gave me a shot through the spot where it was numbed to a nerve in my spine to basically turn that reaction off. And I went numb from about the chest down. And while I was waiting, they kept poking me with sharp things to see if I could feel it and make sure that the numbing was going up as far as it needed to go. And then they put a curtain in front of me so that I couldn't actually see the surgery.
We couldn't see the
We couldn't see it. The thing is you can still feel everything, which I didn't realize. That was a bit intense, and you were by my head keeping me calm.
Yeah.
So you can feel everything, you just don't feel pain. So you actually feel them
pushing and prodding,
pulling and moving around inside you, and you can hear the machines that they're using. So when you have a C-section, like, your water doesn't break or anything like that, they break it for you, and they use some kind of machine to suck it all out, and I could hear it like a vacuum. It was freaking me out. They made a very tiny cut. Very, very tiny. It's right here. They made that just above my pubic bone. And I didn't feel the cut, but I could feel them pushing. And then in order to get this guy out, they had to push him down towards that cut. The anesthesiologist was pretty funny at that point. You're gonna feel some pressure. You're gonna feel a lot of pressure. So I can't see anything, but there's like 3 doctors pushing on me, pushing on my stomach. It felt like being given CPR. They were pushing on my chest, pushing on my stomach, trying to push him down. I didn't really know when to breathe, so the anesthesiologist was sort of coaching me through it and helping me breathe. I also still had high blood pressure, and they would give me medication to bring the blood pressure down, so it was kind of going up and down, which made me feel like I was gonna throw up.
Yeah.
You had to hold a bag next to my face.
In case you got sick, I was there, and it was high blood pressure, and then the placenta came out, and it was low blood pressure, and they were trying to even it out, and It honestly didn't take that long. They were really super efficient and fast.
It's really fast.
But,
they give you
wow.
a spinal block because it only lasts 2 hours, whereas an epidural would last 30 if you needed it to. C-sections are really fast, and mine was scheduled, but it became an emergency because I became preeclamptic. I also had gestational diabetes, which gave him a risk of low blood sugar.
It was scheduled for 3, but it didn't happen until 4:42, and he was born.
Yeah, so what happened was they pulled him out and they warned us that he wouldn't cry at first because when babies come out via C-section, they sometimes have mucus in their lungs and they had to clear that out. So they warned us you won't hear him cry. We heard them talking about the hair on his head, which was really cute. And they took him out and they took him over to a little table and we couldn't see any of this yet. And they cleaned him up really fast. And then they brought him around the curtain and they put him on my chest and there was our baby.
Yeah, and he was bigger than I expected. He was all cleaned up. I was wondering whose baby it was. And sure enough, it was ours.
He had a little hat on and he was lifting his head already. While they had me open, they observed the endometriosis on my uterus because when they... I don't want to TMI, this is the only gory part I'm going to talk about C-section, but they cut through 7 layers to get to the baby, so that's fat and muscle and tendons and nerves, everything, they cut through it. The longest part of a C-section is actually them putting you back together because it only took, 15 minutes for the baby to come out?
Yep.
And then it was probably another 45 minutes of them putting me back together. I could kind of feel pulling and tugging when they did that, and they said that they could see the endometriosis on my uterus, but the doctor was not skilled enough to remove it.
It was intertwined, so.
It's black spots and they get into the tissue. So it was just kind of validating because I've never had a laparoscopic surgery where they go in with the camera. It was really validating to have them say that they could see it, and it'll give my doctor good information to make decisions about future treatment. Once they stitched me all up and I was still a bit numb, we went to sort of an in-between room. We didn't get to the recovery room right away because he had low blood sugar.
And we had to transition over, and we had to feed him a little bit of sugar, his first taste of sugar, and it was pretty adorable.
Yeah, so we knew that that was a risk because of my gestational diabetes. Sean helped me express colostrum, which is a golden fluid that can come before breast milk, and it's full of protein and sugars and good stuff for the baby. So
stuff baby's supposed to have.
Yeah, so we got some of that, and then we gave him some donor breast milk. So Sean got to feed him right away, which was really cute. And they got to bond really well.
He was great. And
Shawnee took lots of videos of him. He got his first taste of sugar.
Yeah, watching him eat sugar for the first time was adorable. He just, the whole time, just...
Yeah.
I'm sure this is a lifelong thing now. He's going to be addicted to it, so.
And we just got to cuddle him lots.
Adorable, yeah.
And then they put me in a recovery room about an hour later after that. And then it's really intense. The first few days they're in the hospital, they're checking on you constantly. And because I still had high blood pressure and gestational diabetes, I did lots of blood work. They came and did my blood pressure constantly. Yep. They did all of his testing, and he had to get little blood test needles on his feet.
Yeah. Not fun to watch, but important.
He did great. We were in a room together, all 3 of us, and I had a bed and Sean had a bed, and he had a bed, but he didn't want his bed, so he slept in either of our arms the entire time.
Good snuggler.
Yeah, and we were breastfeeding right away, which was really good. But the thing was, is I was really not well. So before we had this surgery, it was discovered that I was very, very anemic. My hemoglobin was 60, and your hemoglobin is supposed to be at least 120 before going into a surgery, so double what it was. And a few days before we had the surgery, I did have an iron infusion. So they give you a needle through your arm, an IV, and they give you iron. It brought me up a little bit. And
a lot of that takes a lot of time for it to work.
Just a little disclaimer, one more gory comment, but you lose a lot of blood during delivery. So a regular delivery, you lose about half a liter. With a C-section, you lose anywhere from 1 liter to 2 liters. So think about a bottle of pop, and that's how much blood you lose. Yep. And I lost that and didn't really have the bandwidth to lose it because...
You got a couple liters of baby too.
Yeah.
So it works out. Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot in me. So I was very sick and I turned kind of yellow. it wasn't jaundice, it was just from lack of iron. I turned kind of yellow. This little guy, they kept testing him to make sure he didn't have any infections. He had the audacity, when they had me open to take him out, to pee. He peed in me. So they had to clean it up. It's so gross. So that's all right.
Babies happen.
And I lost, within days of having him, I was down 25 pounds. So that is baby and all the fluid, and then all the fluid retention from having high blood pressure, and also the placenta. So right away it was 25 pounds, and it was crazy because I had such a huge belly if you look at my videos and pictures, and I just went flat like that. And then 2 weeks later, I lost another 10 pounds with no effort whatsoever. So I went from almost 195 to 160 I'm sitting at right now. And I have to get down to 150 within a year to mitigate my risk of gestational diabetes turning into type 2 diabetes. So I have a year to lose 10 pounds, so I think I can do it. So what was it like, Shawnee, while we were in the hospital staying for those few days? How'd you find it?
Camping out. We basically lived in the hospital. I'm pretty sure River thought that we lived there because we spent more time at the hospital for their 2 weeks than we did, at home. So
yeah, they sent us home, but there was a miscommunication, and I should not have been sent home because my hemoglobin was only 80 and it needed to be up by 120, and I still had really high blood pressure. They took me off all my meds, and so when I came home, I was extremely weak, very struggling. I was still breastfeeding lots. But we went to see our GP, and he took one look at me and was,
get back in there.
yeah, you had to go back. So I went back and I got a blood transfusion. So I would like to personally thank people who donate blood, because it saved my life. This is the second time I almost died in this process. First time I almost died from having the super high blood pressure, and then they delivered the baby, and the doctors actually told me if we don't deliver the baby, you could die. And then the second time was having my blood so low, and then I got blood transfusion. Yeah.
He's been healthy so far.
He's been super healthy, and he breastfed really well for 2 weeks. Because I went through that experience, my milk totally crashed. And then we found out that River has a tongue tie. That is when the little webbing under your tongue, it's supposed to be back towards the back, and his comes all the way to almost the front of the tongue. So he can't move his tongue properly. It makes it hard for him to suck and drink, even from a bottle. So we're gonna have a little procedure this week. That's part of why we've been so busy too, because it's quite intense trying to feed him. So we went from breastfeeding to bottle feeding, and we're hoping to get back on the breastfeeding. He does get pumped milk, which is really nice, but I miss the closeness of breastfeeding him and the convenience of it. I might give him to you, Daddy, so I can show them some of my meds.
Let's take the little boy. Oh, I'm going to take this. You can see a little
He's
face
wearing a little sleep sack.
Ta-da!
He likes it.
Star of the show.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the medication I'm on and show you some of it. It's really nuts. So in order to help my breast milk come back, I'm taking a supplement called fenugreek, a drug called domperidone, which makes me think of Dom Perignon, but not as nice. And that is helping my milk come back. I'm taking labetalol, which is for my high blood pressure, and I'm taking Adalat, which is a rescue medication for blood pressure. So the labetalol works on a long-term basis, and the Adalat is if I'm really high, it can bring me down quickly. I'm taking metformin, which helps your body use its normal insulin properly. So it's a step before giving you insulin for diabetes, and it's to help prevent me from developing type 2 diabetes, because I'm at risk of that now. I take duloxetine, which is an antidepressant, and the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because it's okay to take antidepressants. Raina the Mermaid takes antidepressants. It's okay if you need to take them too. When you have a baby, your hormones are so up and down that it can cause postpartum depression and mood swings. So I'm taking that to prevent postpartum depression, because I'm a little more at risk of developing it. Omeprazole is a drug used for acid reflux. In addition to all of this, I was also taking pain medication, but I'm off all of that now. I was taking Dilaudid, and I was taking naproxen, and I was taking Tylenol, and I'm all done those. And then my doctor gave me an awesome nipple cream because when the baby is feeding from you, it makes everything really sore. It's been a little bit nuts. I'm also still periodically testing my blood sugars to make sure that they're okay, and I'm routinely testing my blood pressure. All of that on top of making sure that he eats and sleeps on a schedule is really intense, and that's part of why we haven't been able to make videos, because it's just been all encompassing. But so far we're adjusting okay. And we went back in the hospital. We were there for a few more days. I got the blood transfusion and I felt a lot better. And then we came home. We have an amazing doula who is a postpartum doula, and I can't recommend hiring one of these people enough. She comes and she just kind of gives us a little relief, and she'll watch him or feed him and help with stuff. We saw a lactation consultant who is a professional that helps you when you're having trouble breastfeeding, and she's the one who figured out that he had the tongue and the lip tie. So we're gonna see a pediatric dentist to get that fixed, which is gonna be good. We still have his little mertailor tail. It's giant on him.
Huge.
Yeah.
Baby pterodactyl.
Baby pterodactyl, yes, he makes all these cute noises. So it's still pretty big on him yet, but we're gonna do some photos with him soon. And I thought I would show you, we're getting ready to introduce him to the pool in 2 more weeks when I get the clearance from the obstetrician. So my incision that is down here is actually healed, but inside, all the muscles, my uterus, the tendons, the nerves, they're still healing. And the interesting thing is from below my belly button to about my pubic area, so just like this little space right here is actually numb because they cut the nerves. So that's really weird. Like, I can feel pressure, but that's it. Like, it feels like when your leg falls asleep, except it's my stomach, which is super weird. I see the obstetrician in a week. She'll let me know if I'm allowed to swim. And so once we go swimming, we have some gear for River. We have a little baby wetsuit to keep him warm in the pool, so that's gonna be cute. We have diapers that are made specifically for the pool, and these are adjustable and reusable, and they're swim diapers. And we have adjustable little booties, and it's not that I think he's gonna be walking, it's because I wanna keep his little feetsies warm. So these are little Mermaid ones, so cute. And he's at the point now, 4.5 weeks old, he's starting to listen to our voice and follow our face when he moves, because until now, they're really just lumps. They just sleep and eat. They don't really smile or laugh or anything yet. So we've got lots of great little books, and here's a fun little fish book that he likes, and it's crinkly, so that gives him something to pay attention to. He really likes the water so far. Mm-hmm. He didn't really like being in a baby tub, but we started taking him in the shower and the bathtub, the big one, and
the water on his head.
He loves it. Yeah, he actually falls asleep in the shower. It's really, really, really cute. And in terms of just Sean and I getting back to somewhat normal, you know, COVID is still a thing and there's still restrictions, but our team just got back into the pool, so we're gonna have some training videos. A lot of our team got new tails over the summer. We're very excited for you to see those. And I got some new slip-ins that we're excited to show you, reviews. Remember, we have the review on the kicks, but we're gonna do more videos with the kicks. Every Sunday, our team is going for an hour. We have had some gigs, but now restrictions are changing again, so we're not really sure what the future looks like for gigs at the moment. So if you want to keep using our mertailor discount code, or you want to keep using our Patreon, or even just watching our YouTube videos, we got a little bit of money for all those things, and it all adds up, and it pays our insurance and our website hosting fees and all that good stuff, so that we can keep making content for you. So we have reviews coming your way. We're gonna have training videos coming your way. We still have resources that we're making with our Patreon folks. We are gonna get back into things, and you'll see things more regular as we get into more of a routine with Mr. River here.
We're gonna bring him to gigs and do weird things. He's just gonna be cute.
Yeah, he's not gonna come to private parties, but he will come to tank shows and events. We have baby wearing wraps and that we can put him in, and we want to get him used to the pool and used to the other mermaids and still be safe with COVID and everything, because little babies can't get vaccinated yet, so we have to keep him safe. But you know, even before COVID was a thing, you have to be careful with babies for the first 6 months, because their immune system is just brand new. They don't have their vaccines until 6 months or so. It's gonna take a little bit for him to build everything up, but he's super de-duper cuddly. He's definitely our kid. He likes to stay up all night and party.
Yep.
For me, I'm just gonna keep monitoring my blood pressure and my blood work and all that good stuff. I just had blood work yesterday.
Yeah.
I would show you my incision, but I can't take this off right now. But I've been posting pictures and video on my Instagram. You can check that out, HFX Mermaid. And that's really just kind of where we are. It's taken us a while to make this video because we're just kind of...
Have our hands full.
Yeah. But I promise you that there will be mermaid content again. It's not going to turn into a baby channel or anything like that.
Looking forward to it. We'll have some videos out soon, and honestly, it's been nice to have some family time. So,
yeah, it just, you know, it takes Sean a really long time to edit these videos, and it takes us a long time to set up the lighting and the microphones and everything, and even just to find the space to sit here and record it.
Yeah, and make sure he's fed and happy and not upset, because that doesn't make a good video.
It doesn't make for a good video. No, a little boo-boo.
He's pretty cute. Yep.
We're so proud of him.
Good baby.
It's really surreal to think we're parents, and I would like to take this moment to say a huge thank you to everybody for your support through our pregnancy, all the kind comments.
Been a wild ride.
Yeah, all the well wishes when I had the miscarriages last year. A lot of you reached out to me just to offer support. I might do a Q&A about my pregnancy and delivery. It really just depends on what kind of questions we get. So if you have any specific questions about stuff you want to know, I know people have been asking me about infertility. I might make a separate video about that. I've also been answering questions on Instagram. So again, that's HFX Mermaid. You can check it out there. But otherwise, we're just going to dive right back into the mermaid content. A few updates for you. California Mermaid Con 2022 was announced.
Yeah.
It's going to happen in May this year.
Yeah.
Which is great because July is really hot in California.
Well, it gives us time to prep, get things together, and we could probably jump on a plane with this little one.
We're really hopeful that we can go.
It'd be great to go.
It depends on the COVID situation, the vaccine situation, all that, because we have to be careful.
Honestly, if they decide it's safe in the country to travel, then I mean, honestly, it's the safest convention we can go to. We might as well go.
Yeah, we'd really like to. We're really lucky here in Canada. I get a year of maternity leave paid. I get 55% of my regular income from my day job, and then whatever we collect through mermaid work as well. It's gonna be a while before I can do gigs again. I'm probably not gonna do birthday party gigs. I'm 35. I'm about to turn 36. I want to enjoy being a mom. I'm kind of worn out doing kids parties, so I'll probably do them for like return clients and stuff. But we have a great team, and we're looking at hiring even more.
There's one birthday party I can think of we'll do it for.
Yeah. So he was born on August 12th, which is the day before my late mother's birthday. Hey, boo-boo. Are we gonna cry? Where's your soother? Aww.
No, just wait. You're waking up. Give them a minute. We're good.
I'm good?
Yep.
He's just looking at his daddy.
Starting to stare at us now, so.
We've got lots of pictures of him on Instagram as well, and please join our Facebook group, Raina the Mermaid Sea Fans. We'd love to see you there. We're sharing behind the scenes stuff. And talking about parenting, but also loads of our mermaid stuff too. So anyway, that's everything I can think of, and I'm sure Shawnee's gonna have to edit this down a whole lot.
Oh yeah. But thank you for sharing this adventure with us. We're so happy that it happened, and
he doesn't like the light.
No, he doesn't like the light, but neither do I. But it's okay.
It's like the Lion King.
Yeah.
It's a baby.
It's a baby.
Can you believe that was inside me?
Baby.
He was 8 pounds and 2 ounces. He was from here to here. He took up all this space.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
And great baby.
Now he's kicking me on the outside instead of the inside.
I love the little sleep sack. Oh my gosh, sleep sacks are amazing.
Sack of potatoes.
A little sack of potatoes.
Look at the hair he has. Oh my gosh, one funny thing that happened during the C-section, which I forgot to say, is that the surgeon came around the curtain to congratulate us, and she had a face shield on, and it was covered in my blood. It was like a horror movie. She came around and was, congratulations, you guys. Sean and I were like...
Glad she didn't run at us.
We were like, oh my god.
Okay.
Is that from me? No wonder I needed a blood transfusion. So please be patient while I get back up to feeling normal, because I'm still not 100%. And obviously we have our little boo-boo here. My little boo-boo. You see all the people on the internet? Yeah. Best wishes. Thank you.